from Messages from Heaven by Jaynee on YouTube. Welcome. I'm so pleased. Um, okay, before I start, let me go over stuff. If you want to contact me, just write to um, um, SpiritsbyJaynee at Gmail. Um, why is I'm looking in one tooth? This all right. Um, okay, I can I can see myself. Okay. If you if you decide that you want a reading, um, I charge $80. It often is 2 hours. However, if you can't afford it, just write to me and you can pay whatever you can afford. I'm not trying to get your money. Um, so that can be, especially if you are grieving the loss of a loved one, just pay what you can, and that's fine. However, write to spiritsbyjaney at gmail.com. I do have a website now. It's, you have to do the HTTP and then Messages from Heaven by Jaynee. I won't go into, um, I had it done by logo, logo folks, I think. I'm not sure. I really do need to find that out. And while I like them and they did a nice job, every single thing costs a lot of money for me. I think for someone working now, it wouldn't be that bad, but for somebody old and on disability, yeah, it would be hard. So anyway, what the what my guides wanted me to talk about today is hardship. Um, we do all have them, and of course they vary. Um, I was unemployed a lot of times. I lost a lot of jobs because um, I didn't laugh at people's jokes, and that was one big deal. I got fired from a job because of that. I just wasn't, like I didn't like the jokes, and I didn't laugh, and I didn't even say ha. I didn't say anything. I think I was 18, so anything you do at 18, you wouldn't necessarily do when you're 50. But anyway, um, if you live in the United States, you should be able to get unemployment. And I know it takes a good week to get over being fired because it's a shock, and nobody, I'm sorry, nobody likes it. You have to, everybody sits and looks at themselves. What did I do? Could I have done it better? It is important to look at your part of the situation. Um, you may not have been at fault at all. The boss may have wanted to get some relative into that job. That happens. I've seen so much corruption in places where it never should be in merit. What is it called? I forget what it's called, but in civil service where you think it's not going to exist, but it does. And I don't even know how people. I worked with some man who got his wife a job in the office. I have no idea how he did that. Then he got his daughter in there, I think, and the last one, I guess, must have been his second child. Um, he got his son in there, and his son became the boss of the department. I'm sure that he was helped by his father. I have no idea how these people got jobs in there. It was civil service, and they should not have been able to. Um, but like I said, they did. So if you are fired, look at the situation. Don't just blame yourself. Give yourself a week emotionally to get over it, and then look. Because, like I said, people do things. I worked for a nursing home in Philadelphia, and one day the boss took out this beautiful woman who was the head of the dietary department. She came back as the assistant administrator. Now, I'm telling you, she was beautiful. So maybe nothing happened. Could be, I don't know. And maybe something did. He was married. I don't know who wanted him, but anyway, he was married. I don't know. I don't remember if she was. I All I remember is that she was tall and had long blonde hair. She was very pretty. She was very, very pretty. Um, at the same place, they ran out of money to feed people. They ran out of money to wash clothes. I mean, he used to sit there drinking Jack Daniels from the bottle, literally. That was after I had to go down to the bar on the corner to find him. That was before it opened. But he would sit there with his feet up on the desk, glug, 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 drinking Jack Daniels. And then he was in the hospital for pancreatitis, which is something that is influenced, if not caused, by alcohol effects on the body. So he was quite a character. I mean, he didn't care, and I think it's typical of some people. He hired an assistant for me who left her job to come and work there. She was an occupational therapist. I was a recreational therapist. And maybe the day after, or the day after that, he wanted her fired. Like he reconsidered. But you don't do that to people. That's a horrible thing to do. So somebody left a job to go work for you, which, and then you fire them. Luckily, she was an OT, occupational therapist, for whom there are always jobs. It's a really terrific job. It's a terrific field. Anyway, so maybe that's unemployment. Boy, I've worked for a lot of nuts. I really have. It's um, the I keep hearing that the universe will give you all the aggravation and they'll keep on giving you the same thing until you learn how to deal with it, and then you go on. You don't stay with it. And maybe that's it, because I talked about Mr. Ferguson, who never apologized, and he was honestly out of his mind. um, he didn't, even after he was on the other side, he didn't understand. You can't just take somebody that you like their looks and decide you want that person to be your daughter and act like your daughter. Um, I actually had most of the education I had in therapeutic recreation was for me, because I had started working for nursing homes, and I needed the information. I could not do the job without researching what I had to do and what could be done and all that kind of stuff. So I did. And then when I went to college for a master's degree for it, I knew. I mean, it seemed to me as though it was a really easy course. But I think that was because I had had to do it. So, and I had worked with someone on a grant too. So, and in that we used the book that I wrote too. I mean, I had to keep it somewhere. I had to keep it together. So I used one of those, um, black, sort of black copy books that um, kids use in elementary school. And they wanted to use that in for the workshops too, which I think we did. We did. Um, I ended up having an opportunity to show my artwork in New York and didn't finish with the book because I that was more important to me. And when it's, you follow, you follow. When it's something that you love that's important, it's okay. You need to follow it. Okay. You will be thirsty, I guess. Um, okay. So I said about unemployment. Um, you don't have to get a job in your field. I mean, I graduated from art school. My degree was really in painting. I see people. Um, what kind of job can you get in, with a degree in painting? Just about nothing. I mean, I did have academics, but they weren't they weren't saleable either. I had a lot of archaeology and history. I liked that stuff, so that's what it took. Okay, no more. Um, Next part: losing someone you love. That is horrible. The the pain never really goes away. And people, if people say to you, "Oh, you've been grieving for so long, it's time to be over it," just ignore them. They don't know what they're talking about. They didn't care about whoever they knew who passed away. They didn't care, because if they cared, they would understand that grieving takes as long as it takes, and that's the way it is. If it's someone you really loved, there's going to be a hole in your heart. You're not just going to say, "Oh, well, now I have to go out and get somebody else," or, it's just not like that. Um, you have to let yourself grieve. And I find that I start crying when I talk about my cousin, who was very much like my brother. He was my brother in another life, but in this life, he was protective, and I adored him. And then he died at 60 years old. Now, I know that sounds old to somebody who's 26, but it's, if you're 77, mm-mm, it's not old. We expect people today to live at least to 78, we hope. Not everybody does. I had two friends. One died at 49, another one at 29. So, yeah. And then someone I call my nephew, who wasn't really my nephew, he was my daughter in law's brother in law, and he died at 40. So, it's, okay, but losing someone, I can't say a way to get over it, because it's not like that. Um, I think you need to be honest about it with yourself, and you can talk to the person. Like, I'm forgetting to mention that spirits are right here. They're, especially after they just go over. They're right here. You can call them anytime you want. And what I suggest is talking to that person and telling that person how much you love them, how much you miss them. Now, what you'll find is stuff that looks odd. And when you find anything that looks odd to you, outside, inside, that's probably from them saying that they love you too. It's an answer. I found something weird today, but I don't know who might have gotten it into the house. I'll have to think about that. I don't know. I talked to a lot of spirits. So anyway, what to do is to talk to them, and even if you don't find anything left in a weird place, and you don't know, you don't think they're answering, don't worry about it. They will eventually. If you keep talking to them long enough, you will start getting answers. It took me about 2 years, so that's not fast. Um, I was just talking in general, not just to my cousin. It ended up that my great grandfather answered, and he's just fun. I have met a lot of people in my family from talking to spirits. So, and he's one of them. Um, oh, okay. Another thing. What was I going to say? I was going to say something about spirits. Yeah. Um, I do talk to spirits. So this is this is almost a commercial. Um, I can talk to any spirit. My daughter wanted me to talk to someone about a house, and she didn't know the guy's last name. She didn't know anything about him. I called him just by his first name, and he answered because they pick up. They do pick up what you want. Like one time, someone here asked me to talk to her stepfather. All I had to do was ask for so and so's stepfather, and he came. So if there's anybody you want to reach, I definitely can reach them if they're in spirit. Yeah. I did not know who was knocking on our door in the middle of the night. My husband, my husband's very sick. He has um, he has kidney failure, and he's dying. He's on hospice. Okay, I understand that. And sometimes I cry about that because we've been together for 60 years, 60, 60. So he's deaf. He was not deaf in the beginning. In fact, he used to sing, and it was really wonderful because I have a horrible voice, and his was nice. Um, so he can't hear, and he would be sleeping in the middle of the night, and he was hearing knock, knock, knock at the door, which he shouldn't be able to hear, and there's nobody there. So I have a teacher. Susan Lynn is my teacher. She's another psychic. I asked her yesterday, who was that? And she said, she described him, and I knew it was my husband's old captain. Not He was in the army during Vietnam, but he was not in Vietnam. Um, and he was a police officer. He was one of the good guys, not one who beat people up or, God forbid, shot people. He was not like that. Um, his friends were really diverse, all all kinds, all races, all ethnicities. That's how he was raised, and that's how he is. So anyway, this was his captain. She told me, she described him, and I recognized him, and I asked her if it was this Blackie Feynman, and it was. So there's a whole story. I called him, and well, how I say, I don't call them on the telephone. I just talk to them. I just call their names, and I ask them to come, and they come. So I did that. Okay. What about another hardship when a friend is not really a friend? You don't know it. You go along, you're talking to this person, telling them stuff about yourself, not realizing the person doesn't even like you. That sucks. That's really not nice. I had a friend I grew up with who didn't really like me, and I didn't really like her either. Um, I don't know if I would have under other circumstances. I don't know, but she was a different kind of person than I was. Um, and if you say how was she different? Well, she got along better with people. I don't. I mean, not that I don't get along. I mean, I'm much more shy. I won't talk to people. If they don't talk to me, I won't. Or if I do and they're not really friendly, I won't talk to them. That's it. I'm just more reserved, and that's not necessarily good. She was friendly, and her parents used to talk to everybody on their block, and my parents didn't talk to anybody. Well, they talked to one or two people, and that was it. And so she got to babysit and stuff. I was jealous of that, but fact is, I thought she was my friend. Well, she really wasn't. She used to steal every friend I had. Like it was, I'd introduce her, and the next thing I knew, that person would no longer be my friend she was now friends with the other person and not me anymore. So I guess I wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't that dynamic or something. Um, we're all, none of us are perfect. So that's not good. But I had one person like that at work who I would talk to, and I thought we were friends or friendly at least. And I found out after I retired, I said something that I think I was kidding around, and she took it seriously. And boy, I could see, no, this woman, no, because if she had liked me, she would have said, Jane, why did you say that? That hurt my feelings, or I don't like that, or something. But she didn't. And so, if that had been someone I depended on, I would have felt at a loss. I did have people say things. I don't. I had people on Facebook say things, and then I said, "Well, just drop me, block me. I don't care. If I'm not close with them, I don't care." Don't, I guess what I'm advising is don't over. Just understand how much friends you are with people. Realize that, and if someone shows you they don't really like you, be honest with yourself about how you felt about them, because chances are you didn't really like them either. If they don't like you, you're not meant for them. You're not supposed to be friends with them. And I don't know how they managed to string you along for a long time, but sometimes it happens. Um, just understand that person is not supposed to be your friend, because if they didn't like something you did that much, my God, that they are definitely not your friend. Yeah, it's good to know, especially, well, you're not. I don't think any of you were teenagers, but that's a time when people are so phony, you know, because people are just coming out of puberty and they're sort of miserable and they really need friends, and then finding out that somebody's two faced, which is like, I like you so much, I hate your guts. I love you, I hate your guts. I mean, they really are like that. That same person at work was talking about our boss one day. She didn't hear, the boss didn't hear her. She heard me and thought I didn't like her. Couldn't care less about her. I mean, I didn't want, she was the boss. Did I like her? Not especially. I didn't care one way or the other, really. And here, this other one really didn't like her, but to the boss, she was like this. Yes, I love you. Yes, down there. I mean, that's really how she was. And the boss didn't pick it up. I didn't pick it up before either. I don't know who would. I just think about the some of the other people, and I think they probably would have disliked me just for my politics alone, because one of them was saying one time how gay men or gay people make kids gay when they teach elementary school. Well, obviously, I said, no, they don't. What? No, it has nothing to do with it. It's no, not at all. They don't make little kids. No, no, no. What do you think? Being gay is a disease that you spread, not COVID. It's like no, it's something. It's some. I don't know, but it's part of the person. They're not sharing it with little kids. Oh my God. I don't think she accepted what I said. And I think she thought I was just a crazy liberal. Okay. So, um, just know that those people when they don't like you, when you realize they don't like you, or you see something and it makes you realize that that acquaintance is really not a friendly one, don't worry about it. They are not meant to be your friends. And if you knew that person any better, you would really not like them. If they don't like you, what the hell? There's something wrong with them. There's something, who knows, whatever. Okay, a lot of people want to have children. And you may, and most of you are in the age group when you might want to have children, or you might have children. Um, and it is a hardship when people cannot. I mean, they try and they can't. And I know it might be to the little boys in the audience, but no, that can be a real hardship. Um, I always wonder why people don't adopt children. There are loads of children who need to be adopted, who need families, who need people to love them. And if you can't have children, why would you not? Why would you not love another child? It really doesn't matter if they came from your body or not. They're, I mean, children are a glorious gift of the universe, and finding out who and what they are is wonderful. Even kids from your body are going to be different. Twins don't come, they're not the same. They're different kinds. One likes this, the other one likes that. They sometimes they don't like each other. They're, and they may not look alike at all. My brother and I never looked alike. You wouldn't know we were sister and brother. Um, people, when if we're walking around together, people look at us. I think we look more like each other now, but not before. Okay, um, losing a child. That's probably the worst thing that can happen to a person. It's just horrible, and there's no way that people can just get over that. It takes a lifetime, and you don't get over it. Um, if you're able to have more children, that's wonderful. But if you're not, I don't know. I mean, everybody's different, but that is really a horrible blow. So I do. I don't know if I'm the only one who does it for free. I don't know. There are probably other people too. I definitely talk to people for free with when they've lost a child, because I know that it's horrible. And I come from Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, United States, and kids have been being shot for years. I don't know where they get the guns. Either they steal them or they get them from somebody else who stole them, and they kill other kids. Kids get shot all the time, and if they don't die, then they are paralyzed, can't walk anymore, or they can't move it anymore. Um, I mean, look at Uvalde. Am I saying it right? Uvalde in Texas, where it wasn't what I'm saying. It was the police never came in to save the children. In case you don't know, we have a problem with people going into the schools, especially elementary schools, and shooting kids and teachers. So someone went into this elementary school, I think, in Uvalde, Texas, and kids were calling their parents and everything. Um, the police were outside. They never came in. They came in, I think, when it ended. They wouldn't let the parents go in. Um, Kids were alive at one time, by the time they came in, they were dead. The kids were dead. It was horrific. I can't. I think that was the worst. Where they didn't even. I don't think they lost their jobs. The police. I mean, they should have gone to prison because they were involved in the murder of children. They allowed it to happen. I don't know how you judge that, but I know it's really horrible and wrong. Okay. Um, oh, all right. More. Two more. Have to go into nursing care. A lot of people, have progressive diseases like MS, multiple sclerosis, lupus, um, other ones. There are a lot of progressive diseases, including diabetes. Um, and in diabetes, if you're well, my neighbor wasn't careful, Ben, and Ben used to go with my parents and his wife. They would go to down the shore. Um, we lived in Philadelphia, and they would take a bus. There was a chartered bus that would take all these old people from Northeast Philadelphia, take them down to the casinos in what you call it, in blah 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 Atlantic City. So and my mother used to say, "Oh, Ben eats whatever he wants, and then he shoots up with with the stuff for diabetes." And he cried. I came over to him. He was being taken into the ambulance, and he was crying to me, "They're going to take my legs off." It wasn't long after that he passed away. I liked Ben, and I was sorry. I was really sorry. You I have diabetes. I have second type, and I have to be careful. And I'm not. You might think I would be because here I've seen terrible things, but I'm not. My mom had it. My grandmother on my father's side had it, and my brother had. Oh, wait, we all have. My brother's got type 1, where it's been bad since he was 19 or 20. My cousin like that too. Okay, I mentioned losing arms, losing legs. That's not unusual with diabetes because people just, I mean, I'm not sure they're not even necessarily that they necessarily do what Ben did, where they, shoot up with the, I can't even think of the name of the stuff that they shoot up, that takes care of the blood sugar. Um, but I'm trying to think. I think Brian's first girlfriend, that's my son, first girlfriend's mother died. I don't know if she had diabetes. I think she died. She had, she just had a, what do you call it? I can't think of the word. When it's not a stroke, it's when you can't control your arms and legs. I can't think of the right word. Let me see if anybody writes it. No. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Tanta. I think Tanta means aunt. Doesn't it mean aunt? Um, okay. Anyway, I think the moral of that story is it's important to eat healthy. Um, vegetables. My guides are always telling me eat vegetables, and they're right. They're absolutely right. Um, and I have to constantly be told because I'm really a sugar addict. So, yeah, grew up My mother used to hide candy in a drawer. Like, weren't my brother and I going to know? Yes. I think the two of us could smell it. We just knew it. I think we were psychic for candy. Like, where's the candy? Oh, we knew. We could find it. No, no problem. She used to eat, we would get ice cream, used to come vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. She would eat all the chocolate. So there would be vanilla, the white one on the side, and then there would be, sorry, strawberry on the other side. Our father liked strawberry. We were stuck. Luckily, I don't know about Bruce, it's my brother, whether he ate chocolate. I think he might. I don't like chocolate. So it was good for me. It was okay. But God forbid somebody else put in chocolate because there wasn't any. Although she baked cakes all the time. And her cakes always came out like this, this angle. And then people used to come, 50s were very different. People used to come, relatives would come for lunch and they would have, or just visit, and they would smoke, have cake, coffee, and then talk. And then I would listen. I couldn't understand them a lot of times because they were speaking another language. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's it. So if you decide you want a reading, if you lost someone you love, then it's, if it's a child, it's free. Um, it's $80, but if if you can't afford it, just tell me and tell me what you can pay, and that's fine. If you want a reading, you have to contact me at SpiritsbyJaynee at Gmail. I would love for you to push the buttons to subscribe, push the button to, whether, if you liked it, if you liked the whole thing, and push the button to that you liked it. And if you have any kind of comment at all, I'm thrilled. I don't get enough comments, but yeah. Um, Thank you very much for listening, and that's really it for me. Again, thank you. I'm sorry I missed yesterday. I was so tired. I couldn't. The family came on Saturday, and I was really tired after that because I'm busy with the my 10-year-old granddaughter and 8-year-old granddaughter were painting. I left a painting because I'm an artist. I left a painting that I only just began and left it for them to paint. And I took out the acrylic paints because the oil paints, forget it, that would be a mess for them. And then they really painted it. Um, and then the 3-year-old was there, and I had to play with her because if you don't, she just, she was crying to me anyway that she wanted to go home, and I was hugging her, which I love to do. So yeah, okay. Um, Thank you again. Um, I love it. Ola to you too. Um, What's it? Como se llama? I think that means, what is your name? Como se llama? And mine is Juanita in Espanol. All right. Good night for now. Watch something good or read a good book. Anything. Okay. Good night. Best wishes. Push the button, nothing happens. Good night. Good night.